jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-Side official. No negotiation needed. Period. You already know WCS is the first in the building. Salute to those who inbound to support the channel. We got some damn topics on deck today. We're going to talk about the UFC 307 post reaction. You know what I'm saying? Who won, who lost. And of course, Rick Glaser. I'm going to play some of the audio that, you know, his comments on what he thinks about Devin Haney lawsuit. And the reason why this is good in a way that people are willing to talk about the lawsuit is the fact that there are some people out here that's believing on both sides of the spectrum. Some believe in some believe it's right. You know what I'm saying? It's warranted. And others are looking at Ryan Garcia's benefit that he went in there and did what he was supposed to do as a fighter. And that's where all of this is supposed to take place, inside the four corners. That should be where you physically adjudicate any type of legality that you think you may have from a fighter that you think wronged you. That's the way it usually is. I know there's been some lawsuits in the past. I get it. There's been some lawsuits in the past that was warranted for whatever reason. Like you had lawsuits dealing with promoters, pretty much, you know, outlining or highlighting something that was wrong in their contract, or, you know, money issues. The fighter wasn't paid according to what was agreed upon. You know, just many things that fighters, you know, take their promoter to court about, or their manager, you know, or their manager. But the good thing about free promotion is the fact that you don't have to come out the pocket for it. Free promotion has been what Ryan Garcia has been able to take advantage of since April 20th, last April 20th. And looking back at it, this fight has boiled over into the media and imploded into something that we didn't see coming. You know what I'm saying? We didn't expect it to still be a hot topic heading into October. We didn't expect that, but it is. And we're going to talk about why it may benefit if certain individuals would take advantage of it still being in the media. I mean, point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? If both fighters are willing to take advantage of it, then we'll see how it plays out. You know what I'm saying? I think it has enough energy to it right now that it can take them. The momentum can pilot them into 2025 for a freaking rematch. I think it's like perfect. Real talk. The reason I'm saying it's perfect is based off the strength that controversy is providing all the turbulence you need when it comes to Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. All the turbulence you need for people to tune in for a rematch. You know what I'm saying? Devin has earned, you know what I'm saying, he's right at the top of the hierarchy, you know, as an undisputed champion. He's earned that. You know what I'm saying? 140, being a champion in 140, he's earned that. Ryan Garcia he's pretty much earned a way into the hearts of those fans who rock with him heavy. In my opinion, Devin Haney don't have the fan base that Garcia has, but that what makes it even more um intriguing, because Haney was supposed to be the big name, the big star, all the potential that was placed on him like a backpack on a hiking extravaganza. You know what I'm saying? He had all the hype behind him, next Floyd Mayweather and all that. No one really wasn't comparing Ryan Garcia as the next. He just was a pretty boy who had a huge following and put out videos online, that people tuned into and thought was pretty cool. And some of those videos he put out there were pretty cool. So, you look at both sides, both lanes. They both was driving in their lanes and simple, different directions. And this is where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? This is where we at right now. We have one fight that, when you talk about a script, this is the script that you couldn't have imagined. From the fight moving from Vegas to New York, and then Ryan Garcia just totally saying, you know what? I'm jumping in this all the way, fully submerged. And I'm gonna do everything possible, to bring attention to this fight, even if it requires me acting an absolute complete utter fool. You know what I'm saying? And he did that. He did it. You know what I'm saying? He did it. So let's talk about and get the UFC 307. Let's get the results out the way. That's what I want to do. I want to get the results out the way. UFC 307 pretty much took place last night. And it wasn't an extremely heavy, star-studded card. But no fight cards are like that. Unless you are at a, fight mecca, whatever that regional footprint is, and you got some heavy names in the main card leading up to the co-main and the headliner. In this case, yeah, you had some names on here, but it wasn't too many that to the point where the card, was weighing itself down and everybody was, anxious just to sit home and say, yeah, this is what I've been waiting on. It wasn't no sit home and wait. This is what I've been dreaming about, these, some dream matchups. This wasn't it. So let's look at some of these. Let me take you to some of these fights, right? All right. I'm going to start with Jaquin Buckley and my boy Stephen Thompson. If you don't know, Stephen Thompson had his back in the day at welterweight division, his two fights with Tyron Woodley, which, the first one, it was a draw, and people thought that maybe Stephen Thompson, fan friendly, very nice guy, but lethal striker, thought he did enough to beat Woodley, but he didn't get the nod. Came back the second time and he lost. Thompson never been able to really have his foot on the clutch and shift those gears. You know what I'm saying? And hit that rev limiter in his career. He haven't really been able to do it. He got the talent. You know what I'm saying? He is lethal now. He has his highlights, but he never been able to become a champion and reign for like at least about 3 defenses against some top names. Man, him and Buckley fight. Buckley being a shorter fighter. Stephen Thompson, Wonder Boy, having that wide karate stance, heavy on the lead foot, very, very high speed in his spinning techniques. The fight was back and forth. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't agree with the way Buckley entry was, close distance, but it worked for him because he pretty much took away his left hand upon entry and just said, you know what, I'm going to block the right kick or anything Thompson is throwing on my way in just to basically land my power hand. He kept on doing that. And, Thompson had his moments where, he had some spinning kicks that was absolutely tornado. and he missed the mark. And some of his high kicks, his basic high kicks, landed. And the commentary, oh my God, they really had their favorite, jar of motherfucking candy and their jelly beans open. Shit, they sugar high for their favorite fighter. It was just unbelievable, you know. But Stephen Thompson had a lot of people that was going for him because they wanted to see him get to that title fight, bro. And Buckley is proven to be on a 4-fight win streak. He had one of his highlight reel knockouts where his opponent parried his kick, and then he reversed with a counter kick and knocked him out cold on his feet. And last night, Buckley was seen doing this leaping right hook, and he would leave his feet. And this is mixed martial arts, man. You can leave your feet. You can do a whole lot of shit. Even in boxing, some boxers leave their feet, but in boxing, you can't throw kicks. And Buckley landed that right hand that hit Thompson when he was up against the cage, nowhere to go. Dropped him. GMP, ground and pound, and the fight was stopped. Great finish for Buckley, defeating Thompson. Kayla Harrison, the 2-time gold standard judo Olympian, went in there against Caitlin Vieira. And, I looked at this fight where, once again, they was at high elevation. Okay, first of all, they was at high elevation. When fighters understand that, they should do whatever it takes to go over there previously and get some type of acclimation to that high elevation, because it will deplete you. I remember when I was running, I used to go running, not to give you a back in the day story, but I used to love running in the cold, the rain and shit, in adverse conditions. And I just thrived in that shit. But I remember going up in high elevation in California, and I never felt anywhere close to when it came to my lungs was gonna pop out my motherfucking chest. I was like, damn. Like I really tried to gather myself, work on my breathing. I say, man, I'm in good shape. I'm not tired. No, it was goddamn high elevation. And it was a learning experience. So for fighters, you definitely should go over there the week before. If you're not coming from a place, or you're not already in the proximity of that region, then you definitely should come over there the week before, not the week of. So Kayla Harrison showed signs of fatigue yesterday, but also what she showed signs, a 2-time gold medal Olympian and also a PFL tournament champion, was that her skill set hasn't quite evolved yet to think that the bantamweight champion was going to call her out. She kept doing the same thing over and over again. She'll lead with the overhand left and level change to attempt to go for an ankle pick. And I was saying to myself, how many times are you going to do the exact same thing? And then I had to process it. I say, well, she's tired as hell, and she really don't have enough. Like, she got muscle. It seems like she don't have enough energy to throw a combination. So Caitlin Vieira, it wasn't like she was throwing a huge amount of punches and bunches. It just seems like she was more acclimated to the elevation, and she was more committed to just throwing punches when she thought it was needed. You know what I'm saying? Being that Kayla Harrison nice level, she sometimes clinched up against the cage. And I said, the crowd here is pretty impatient. They didn't want to see you press up against the cage unless you was going to get a takedown. And there was some times where she was able to get Vieira, down to the canvas, but really it wasn't a lot that was gone, like where are your submissions or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really thought her submission game was much more on a higher level than what she displayed last night. I didn't see that. I thought she would be more inclined to let her hands go, close distance, level change, get the takedown, and work for a submission because she does have grappling. That wasn't the case. I was quite disappointed. And then they showed. I get to that. But moving on. Roman versus Holland. Man, it didn't even last long enough for you to really, damn get through the first 5 kernels of popcorn, a fresh batch of popcorn, because he was taken down, and somehow in the point of transitioning, or trying to defend, get out the full mount, he hurt his rib. So he made it out the first round, right? I thought, but I forgot he retired. He didn't come out for the second. But within the first round, we didn't get past the first round into the second round. He hurt his rib. So I'm not him. And Holland, I'm not the type of guy that'll say Holland is a quitter. You know what I'm saying? He's a pretty tough dude. But he got up and he was like, damn, it's my rib. So his team was like, ask him, hey, can you go on? Can you go on? Because you can't play around with a rib. Like, a rib ain't no joke. I know Conor McGregor was dogging him out, talking about he should have went back up there and went back out there. With Conor McGregor, that's not your body, of course. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand what Conor is pretty much, as a fighter, saying what he should have done. But when Conor broke his foot, you know what I'm saying, he had to retire also. Nobody was saying, well, Conor should have went back out there and tried to throw a kick again with a broke foot and see if it came off. If the foot came off, then you would know that your foot was broken. No, you had a broken fucking foot. You broke your foot against Dustin Poirier, and you got stopped. But anyway, Kevin Holland did not make it back out for the second round due to a rib injury. You know what I'm saying? Mario Bautista, moving on, transition. Mario Bautista, definitely a tough fighter against Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo, man, you know who he is. A legend of mixed martial arts and MMA, still going. I thought he would have retired by now. But him and Bautista had a very good match. And they had some very solid trades. You know what I'm saying? And you're talking about all-around striking Jose Aldo, who is older now. But Bautista was landing his shots. They was both exchanging. Really wasn't no clinching or takedowns to the point where that dictated the momentum of the fight. But I was surprised at how quick Aldo is in the cage. And then he even landed one of his patented knees. It wasn't even a flying knee. It was just a standing counter once Bautista was trying to close distance. And I was like, damn, this dude still has speed. You know what I'm saying? In great shape, man. I don't know who the fuck his nutritionist is, but dude is great. And Bautista was game, man. Bautista was the favorite coming into this fight. But I thought Aldo did enough to win. He lost via split decision. The judges was horrendous last night. I'm gonna be honest with you. The judges were horrendous. They got some of them right, but the judges and the referees, I don't know what they was on up in there, bro. But they wasn't consistent. It takes me back to the older days of the UFC, where the judges just was screwing fighters over big time. And the UFC said, we got to figure this out. We got to get better judges. Because a lot of these judges that was judging mixed martial arts, they was boxing judges. So you just like boxing, some judges like the aggressor, some like technical skill fighters, some like power, to see power punches, vice volume punching. Everybody has their freaking, acquired taste when it comes to judging. But I thought Jose Aldo did enough to win, but he lost a split decision. You know what I'm saying? I thought he beat Bautista. Moving on to the co-main event. Juliana Pena, the Venezuela vixen, against Raquel Pennington. This fight was okay. You know what I'm saying? It picked up a little bit with Pena taking Pennington down. But as far as both of them striking on the feet, it was just jab, 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 triple, quadruple jabs, by Pennington, jabs by Pena, both of them trading jabs, standing up, trading shots here and there. Neither fighter have serious power, to the point where someone was going to get knocked the F out. So it was going to be a striking dynamic. Neither fighter was really kickers. You know what I'm saying? They really weren't big on throwing body kicks. Even low calf kicks, not that much. So this was going to be a stand-up game where Pena definitely was better on the ground, right? But when she got Pennington on the ground, she wasn't able to do that much work, to work for a submission or anything like that. But she did. It looked good on the judges to take her down, to get some takedowns. Raquel, this was her freaking first title defense after winning the title. And she had been around the game for quite some time. She said 14 years, I think. But I never really saw her as a really decent fighter. Pena, her claim to fame was winning the Ultimate Fighter, and her win over the Lioness herself, Amanda Nunes. So I like Pena for her aggressiveness and everything. I thought her too kind of felt the elevation, but she handled it better than Kayla Harrison did. So through the back and forth, Pennington had her family there. Everybody was in the building. She ended up losing her title in her first defense. Pena, once again regained the championship. Now she's a 2-time bantamweight champion. And to go back to my Kayla Harrison note, in the post fight, they asked her who she wanted to fight. And of course, she called out the Lioness, Amanda Nunes, because this would be their third time stepping into the cage. She beat Amanda Nunes the first time. Amanda beat her the second time. And then she had a layoff 2 years before heading back into the square. So those you boxers, always talking about ring rust and all that. She had 2 years off and she still went the full 5 rounds, 5 minutes apiece. You know what I'm saying? And took the title. Now, in the post fight, they was asking her who she wanted. Of course, she mentioned Amanda Nunes. One of the baddest women on the planet. You know what I'm saying? The top athlete of the UFC. She did her thing. She's since retired. So in the back at the table, Kayla Harrison was looking some type of way because Pena didn't call her name out. I mean, they don't like each other anyway. But she didn't call her name out. And because Kayla's, really wants to become champion in the UFC as she was in the PFL, except the competition in the UFC is much more tight, much more consistent than the PFL. Some type of way that Pena didn't call her name to fight next. You know what I'm saying? Pena called the retired Amanda Nunes, which she might have been just being spiteful, but no, you shouldn't be fighting a Nunes who's retired right now, and she's already proven everything she needs to prove at 135 and 135. Amanda was a 2-division champion. You know what I'm saying? The first woman to do it, become a champ. So we'll see how that play out. And then, of course, in the main event, Pereira and Khalil Roundtree, man. Alex Pereira defeated Khalil Roundtree via 4th round knockout. This was a fight where a lot of people, including myself, thought that Khalil pretty much had the kicks and the hand speed complemented with the power to go in there and hurt Alex Pereira. And he ended up dropping them in the fight, yo. He ended up dropping Pereira. But he didn't follow up with it. And you can tell that, he would fight in spurts. he really wasn't just pressing 5 rounds, 5 minutes apiece, pressing Alex Pereira, to be able, first of all, he was able to get some takedowns. But once he had him down, he just wasn't able to do anything with it. Pereira was able to, make it back to his feet. And I was saying, okay, this is going to be a long fight because, the takedowns take up energy. And you can tell that he started to decline as the fight went along due to that elevation. He started to get extremely tired. And then as you paid attention before the fight even started in the freaking presser, he already had a scab on the bridge of his nose from training. So that opened up. You know what I'm saying? It got bad for him real quick. And he ended up tiring out to the point where you at elevation. It's just not like you're tiring out. Let's just say you're fighting over here in the US, you're tiring out, right? Let's just say you're in New York or whatever the case may be, and you in between rounds and you need to kind of get that refresh, with the ice on your neck, water and all that shit. It's not that type of recovery at high elevation. I mean, the lactic acid, the oxygen is different. It's almost like semi-suffocation. It's really different. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's different. And you can tell that Roundtree was absolutely sucking for air. You know what I'm saying? He was in a bad place. And he ended up being broken down and stopped because Pereira is a lethal assassin at the end there. Pereira, one thing he can do is close the mother effing show. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing we know Pereira can do is close the show, and he closed out Roundtree and got him up out of there. It was a good fight while it lasted. It was better than Projaska, Yuri Projaska. You know what I'm saying? It was better than that. Him deeming himself to be the goddamn samurai. It was better than that fight. Real talk. But I couldn't complain about it because it was pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty decent. It's just if Roundtree selected to come over there on fight week instead of the week before and get himself acclimated to the elevation, that's his fault. But as far as him going out there fighting, he did a pretty decent job against the champ. But anybody who going there against Alex Pereira, they have to bring it. You know what I'm saying? They definitely have to bring it. You can't go in there and half step. This dude is absolutely official. Real talk. Absolutely official. So salute to the UFC 307. It is what it is. It's over and done with now. So we got to keep it moving. Let's transition over to Rick Glaser. So I want to touch bases with this, okay? He was on True Media. This is his content. All right. So Rick Glaser pulled up to True Media, and he wanted to talk about the Devin Haney lawsuit. All right. And he was making some, in my opinion, he was making some raw points about this lawsuit. And it's his opinion, not my opinion. It's his opinion. You know what I'm saying? So let's tune in and see what Rick Glaser has to say, the insider who believes that Haney's actions with this lawsuit is soft, or in his words,
the left hook wouldn't have happened if they wouldn't agree on the 600,000 and the 3 pounds. But as far as once they were in the ring, that drug is not making them land that left hook. Come on, I mean, what does that left hook have to do? What does that drug have to do with accuracy and everything else? Devin Haney kept leaning in and kept getting hit with the left hook. How did that drug help Devin Haney lean in?
I can understand where Rick is coming from. How did it help? A lot of people are asking, like, when it comes to that scenario, right? When it straight up comes to boxing, Ostarine and anything else, EPO, none of the testosterone, TRT, it doesn't give you the cheat code to goddamn skills when it comes to those ropes. It's nothing that has been proven via a consensus of qualified experts to say that these performance enhancing drugs improve your skill set and your psychological decision making process. Collect data and intel and execute that towards your opponent, and it elevates it 1,000%. It hasn't been proven. You know why? Because it ain't true.
Come on, they had no game plan. They didn't know what to fucking do. He was in with a guy who was a lot better than they thought. That's all there was to it. They thought he was going to be a pushover. They saw the tank fight, and they said, "Oh, this is going to be easy." And they overrated themselves, Devin, and they underestimated Ryan Garcia. Okay, listen, everybody that knew about the fight going in said Ryan Garcia's got a great left hook, and if he can neutralize Devin Haney, he can win the fight. Other than that, if he doesn't, then he loses. Well, that's what happened. He neutralized him with the left hook. He put him down 6 times. 3 times were official knockdowns. 3 other times they didn't count as official knockdowns, but they were knockdowns. Okay, he was outboxed, outplayed with, outthought, and none of that had anything to do with a performance-enhancing drug. That's all there is to it.
Is it okay? So, devil's advocate again, Rick. I got to do this. What say you about Devin Haney fans saying that, hey, listen, I hear what you're saying about the left hook. The Ostarine had nothing to do with him getting hit with the same punch. Is it a possibility that the Ostarine that helps you cut weight? Is it a possibility that night the Ostarine that Ryan Garcia had in his system mesmerized Devin Haney to the point to where he couldn't get out of the way of the left hook? It gave him some kind of mesmerization powers.
He said, did it give him mesmerization powers? That's a good one. But I think that's a good question that Malachi asked, because there are people out here that's saying, okay, could this? Because everybody, when it comes to this performance enhancing drugs, first of all, there's a lack of education on PEDs, period, when it comes to different sports. Like I said before, BJJ, they don't test for PEDs. And you have all the competitors possibly on some type of performance enhancing drugs or supplements, and you still have only one champion. You don't have no draws. You don't have all these draws and stuff like that. But to caveat of what Malachi said was a sense of, is it giving off some type of aura? Does it give you that Hulk smash that you knew was coming when David Banner dipped his head and his eyes started to turn? Did we see that in the fight? I didn't see Ryan Garcia starting to glow, and then Devin said, oh, what is this? Daddy, he's glowing. He's getting bigger as we speak. His skin tone is turning different. Oh my God. I never, what I'm saying? We didn't see that. We didn't see him transform into the White Panther. I didn't see it.
You're making me laugh. Somebody must have put that in your head it as a joke, and you're running with it.
I have some phone. Listen, I have some phone calls of Monday's interview with Timothy Bradley that I'm gonna drop. There was this one guy who called, and I'm telling you what the man said. A matter of fact, I'm gonna drop the receipts tomorrow. The man said that the Ostarine made Ryan Garcia a lot faster, a lot stronger.
And what did Tim Bradley say? Ridiculous, right?
Yeah, he said it was some bullshit. The Timothy Bradley said
me too. Same.
One thing people have to understand, as much as their desire is to call it for what it is, everybody's going to have some type of bias, period. That's just the way it is. So if those Ryan Garcia fans are still out here, you know what I'm saying, they're going to go in defensive mode right away. Of course. Because for one, Devin Haney was supposed to be better than Ryan Garcia in every facet. He's supposed to be the more complete fighter. He's supposed to have been the one with the bigger name. Plus, the fight fans were still rebelling the fact of how big he got versus Regis Prograis, right? They was rebelling, goddammit. People say, "Oh my God, he's big. He dominated Regis and all that." A lot of us didn't see that type of performance coming from Ryan Garcia to Devin Haney. So when it comes to the Oscar ring, it's not like Ryan Garcia has never knocked out a fighter. It wasn't like they gave him the Paulie Malignaggi stamp that he didn't have any power. No, Ryan had legitimate power. It's just that, he was known for doing the same thing over and over again. He had to step up his competition, just like we said about Haney when he was back there fighting Yorkis Gamboa and everything, and Jojo Diaz and all them cats, right? So when it came down to how people, what are their perception about performance enhancing drugs, you cannot group PEDs all together. You can't sit up here and say we encapsulate everything. We wear it as a jacket. We only got that. Look, those of you that got that one favorite jacket, you put it on, and you can tell people, you know what, this jacket, it been a minute with to Italy, Germany, South Africa. Hey, it been when I went out on the goddamn the Pacific Ocean and a goddamn fishing expedition. It been with me to the Antarctic. It been with me to Australia, Thailand, Singapore. You're telling everybody that jacket has been with you all over the world. That's why you wear it, because it has the spirits of all these places and shit, right? That's not what PEDs are. PEDs just don't put a jacket, a armor, a full body suit and turn you into a superhero. That shit don't do that, y'all. That's not the way it works.
Here, it's all bullshit. Please.
So, Rick, why does it seem like that Ryan Garcia is getting Devin Haney is getting jumped on here when he did nothing wrong? Why is that?
Devin Haney getting jumped on because he did nothing wrong? Because he's being a crybaby. He won't let this thing go away. Fight was over on April 20th. When I left the arena that night, there was a winner and there was a loser.
Okay. Do y'all agree? Rick said he left the arena. It was a winner and a loser. God damn it. There was a winner and a loser. Now, I have to say, in all honesty, Devin Haney, he did do something wrong. He did a lot right that night. First of all, as a champion, he made weight. First and foremost, professionalism. Devin Haney made weight. First and foremost. I don't care about the pushing and shoving and all that shit that happened. I've been up through that already. You know what I'm saying? Watching fights, when I was coming up, right? He made weight. Professionalism first. He was competing for his title to defend it. It wasn't like when fighters drop the belts on the scales, and then their opponent is the one that can only fight for. No, he was eligible to defend his title and fight for it. Now, on the other hand, when you talk about the cons, is that his opponent, Ryan Garcia, as we all know, he came in overweight. Team Haney agreed for a verbal penalty to be assessed. They agreed to $500,000 per pound. They shook on him, and that was met. Now, the question marks coming to play of Ryan Garcia being unable to make weight, unable to get down to the 140-pound limit. You know what I'm saying? So people are coming up with all these theories saying that he had to take aspirin for this, that, and the other. Do you not believe that it's possible for a supplement to be contaminated? I'm just saying. But getting back to what Rick said. Rick said there was a winner and a loser. Malachi asked, is it fair that he did everything he was supposed to do right, the right way, but in the sport of boxing, where the fans can turn into you on a blink, just a touch of a lash, when the lashes clash, you know what I'm saying? Just a blink of an eye, they can say that Devin Haney is being a baby about this lawsuit. The only reason I say it is not, that he's being bullied. I don't think Devin Haney being bullied or anything like that, because it wasn't like he had a loyal, extremely loyal fan base to begin with. But that still doesn't condone the fact that Ryan Garcia tested positive for Ostarine. Like I said, as a champion, he did everything he's supposed to do. Now, if the performance wasn't the way it was, if the performance was a split decision loss, and they went the distance, and there was no knockdowns, and it looked like the fight was even. You know, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, when this decision was read, we're talking about going to the final bell, y'all. And both of these fighters didn't have O's on their record. But when Devin Haney lost that fight, a lot of them, when this Ostarine came out, they was fighting for Devin's O before anything. They weren't really fighting for Haney, you know, his rights. You know what I'm saying? His honor. HONOR. We're fighting for your honor. You know, it didn't seem that way. They was about, he should get his O back. He should get his O back. I get it. I get it. But it didn't seem like they was fighting for his honor as a fighter, because these boxing fans that's supposed to be the hardcore fanatics, the enthusiasts, they should be able to read through it and say, do you actually think that performance enhancing drugs give you all that power and might? It turned you into a mortal superhero?
Okay, whether it was overturned or not, okay, it was overturned, and it's a no contest. Go on with your life. He won't allow that to happen. Well, guess what? He's going to find out that in court they're going to shoot this thing down, and they're going to say, okay, go back to the boxing commission. That's what it's for. That's what a judge is going to say. And then and the boxing commission already ruled on it. It was a no contest. He had to give De La Hoya back $1 million. Garcia, and it's done and over with. And he wants a piece of the $1 million. He says, how was Golden Boy fed? That's beside the point. The commission made that ruling.
I think Rick make a good point about the commission, because people have to understand they up here trying to pull this as a team. Not every fighter who's signed to a promotion gets that friendly love. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just hanging out at the promotion headquarters. It's not like that. And it kind of seems like some of the Haney advocates or supporters are looking at it like, why did the penalty go back to Golden Boy? You know what I'm saying? Why this? And you have to ask the commission. That is something that you have to ask the commission that's been in play for quite some time. You know what I'm saying? You have to ask them. If they make the ruling, you have to ask them why. Just like commission has been responsible for allowing fights to continue after a fighter was tested positive ahead of time, and they allowed the fight to go on. And then the fighter who tested positive wins. You can't go back and blame the fighter for testing positive when he tested positive and the commission allowed the fight to continue. They allowed the fight to continue. The fighters don't run the commission. The commission and the promoter has to make those, have those conversations. But, the only way, people are going to have to, understand this shit is just do a bit more research, stay closer to the game, and see how that process work when you're on fight week, or you make that contact. Talk to the managers, talk to the individuals. It was also said that DHP Promotions promoted the fight. Allegedly, I'm finding out that's not entirely true. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it moving though.
So you're of the opinion they're taking it to civil court. I think the attorney that they're using, I think that's the same attorney that his name is Pat English. That's the name.
Yes.
Pat English.
Yes, from New Jersey. Yes.
Yeah. So apparently this attorney feels that they may have a case. What say you about that? You think that
I don't. Like I said, I don't think they have a case. I don't see where there's a case. I don't see where there's a case. If he would have taken a true steroid where it would have increased his power, okay, and possibly his speed because of you know I could say okay, possibly, but not a weight reducing drug. No, I don't buy it.
I mean, I listen. I do get it. Trust me, I get it. I can look Osterin up right now, and I'm pretty sure it's going to say the total opposite of what some of the phone calls I received from Devin Haney fans say that it did that night for Ryan Garcia. Rick, does it seem as though people are taking Ryan Garcia's side in this matter? You know, I'm hearing that Ryan Garcia,
because this guy's coming out like a pussy. They're forcing people over to Ryan Garcia's side because they're coming off as pussies and just stuff that's not done. They're crybabies. That's what's going on here.
So what about trying to clean up the sport? Fighting a good fight to clean the sport up. Trying to be
that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. You go in front of Congress or the U.S. Senate, the U.S. Congress, and you talk about that we need changes and stuff like that, and federal intervention. That's how you do that. You don't do that we don't do that in civil court with money.
Yeah, now I see exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. You know, if you really want to do something like that, you definitely have to get Congress involved. Like very similar. I don't want to say very similar to. Are you familiar with Marvin Hagler? Right? I know you're familiar with Hagler.
I just wanted y'all to listen to that, and I just want to drop a screenshot right up here and get straight down. Y'all seen it already. Those of you that's been dabbling over here in these search engines. The benefit of Osterine, MK TAC 2866. Improvement in muscle mass. And muscle mass does not mean that you're getting stronger. It just means that you've gained muscle. Okay. With muscle doesn't say you're becoming some power lifter. Number dose. Faster recovery between trainings. 3, higher bone density. 4, reduced risk of fractures and injuries. 5, reduction in body fat. What was that again? Number 5, Cinco? Reduction in body fat. Now, people, if you think for 1 second in the court of law, this simple depiction is not going to be presented as evidence, you're extremely off the wagon, way off, because it says nothing about strength. You know what I'm saying? Power. It doesn't give you the testosterone, the TRT, the EPO, shit like that. It said reduction in body fat. And Ryan has always been on record saying he was trying to lose weight. But still, a prohibited substance is a prohibited substance. So, and let me get back. That was True Media Today footage with Rick Glaser on there. That's who I'm citing for that audio. With the benefits of Osterine, it's just simply going to come up in court on was it a supplement that provided the advantage during that fight for Ryan Garcia to go in there and have a freaking unfair advantage due to him testing positive for a banned substance. You know what I'm saying? The banned substance, yes, that's a mark. That's in violation. Yes, no doubt about it. That's a violation. But if you're going to say battery in the sport of professional boxing, full contact, you're gonna deem it battery, then how are you going to explain battery when Osterine doesn't bleed over into the factor of power, strength, and this incredible freaking imposing intimidation factor, which comes from inner strength and the internal enhancement of medicine, drugs in your system? How are they going to explain that? You know what I'm saying? Improvement of muscle mass, faster recovery between training. I mean, it's going to have to be explained. I'm pretty sure it's also they're going to bring up Ryan Garcia's previous fights, how Tank Davis hit him with a clean left hand and he was able to get off the canvas. And he didn't test positive during that fight. So it's a lot of areas where Ryan Garcia has shown that he has a respectable chin. He got up against, when he was on the canvas before against Luke Campbell. I mean, he has shown in the past that he has some boxing skills and he has a chin. He has a beard. But in the sport of boxing, they have fair weather fans. So they're going to have to figure this out. It's not a good look when it comes down to the bravado part of it. But if you're talking about fairness, the health aspect of it, and this, that, and the other, once again, it all depends on who you're talking to. It's all depending on who you're talking to. I was like, you agreed on the weight. If you wouldn't agreed on the weight, the fight never would have happened. Right? That's going to be entered in the court of law. But at the end of the day, we just going to have to see how it all plays out. Because do I believe he's whining about something? I wouldn't call it whining because he's ultimately the fighter that's stepping into the square. I just find it going against the grain just a little bit at the wrong time in his career. And it's a bad type of mojo that's going on here. The reason why people saying he's whining and he's being a crybaby about it because of the way the fight played out. Ryan Garcia really gave it to Devin and made him look the worst he's ever looked in any fight in his career. And this was coming from a non-champion. This was coming from a non-pound for pound status fighter. This was coming from a guy who was said not to have the mirrored or same skill set, be on the same level as Devin. They say they was going in there to murder Ryan Garcia. That's just words, right? But therefore, there had to be some level of confidence of them walking in there and saying, we can get this done. We're way better than him. So in respect to Rick Glaser, he did say something that makes a lot of sense. What does Ostarine have to do with Ryan Garcia continuing to land that left hook? And people are going to say, because it'll allow him to throw it faster. So you're trying to tell me at the level of an undisputed champion, a second division champion, Ostarine, the aura of Ostarine that was glowing and emitting radiation at close distance prevented Devin Haney from raising his right hand? I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that shit at all. I'm not buying it with goddamn food stamps. I'm not buying it with goddamn tokens that I got from Chuck E. Cheese as a kid. I'm not buying it with none of that shit. No Groupon, coupons, none of that. I'm not buying it. We'll see how the shit play out, though. That's all I can say. We'll see how it plays out, man. Shout out to the chat. AU in the building. Peludas. Salute. MKB in the building. Marlon King Boxing. Wonderwood on deck. What's good? He said Crawford needs 2 fights to super glory as he chases greatness at 3 times undisputed. Right now, Canelo is running scared. Hey, man, somebody need to send the goddamn Matador out there. You know what I'm saying? Need to send the Matador out there. Shit. Sir Senior, what's good? Indeed, I was telling my friends that it was going to be a bloodbath. Those guys are tough. You must be talking about the 307. Appreciate you. Arnold Brown on deck. Shout out to Madman. Salute. Tyrese on deck. What it do? You got to admit Ron looked way superior. No, I can't. I know you're a Devin Haney fan, but you popping that leading question out here, MKB. Like, I didn't think Ryan looked superior. You're talking about how big Devin Haney looked against Regis Prograis. He looked superior. Him and Devin, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. I can't say one fighter looks superior than the other when it comes to aesthetics. Now, in the fight performance, Devin kept getting up. That's another angle that's going to be used in court. Devin's not no bitch. He kept getting off the canvas, bro. He showed he had heart. He did not quit. So if Osirines was providing an advantage when it comes to power delivery, why was Devin continuing to get up? Why didn't we see him laid flat out? Why didn't we get the Fundora effect? If it was such speed, I think they both look damn near, equal when it came to size. How all of a sudden Ryan is gonna come in there and he's much more, imposing than Devin Haney, who just was looking like a freaking middleweight in there against Regis Prograis. Both of them look big, bro. Haney was electrifying versus Regis, so it was very suspicious how Ryan seemed like he was a welterweight. Regis was a small guy. He's still a small guy. He was a small guy before the fight, during the fight, after the fight there, MKB. You know that, man. Stop playing, man. Devin need to be a tree chopper, be tree chopping right now. Hey, man. They got to get him right. Shout out to Mr. International, Toby Bartlett. What's good? Salute WCS in the hottest chat in the YTC. We're global. We global. No doubt. High bone density means you can take more pain, in my opinion. Look, I'm glad you said that, because at the end of the day, a lot of people wasn't expecting Devin to go in there and freaking drop Ryan Garcia. So if Austrian provides you, with bone density and you can take, where was Devin's knockout power coming from? He didn't knock out Lomachenko and he didn't knock out Kambosos twice in Australia. So it wasn't like he was landing shots on Ryan and Ryan back up against the rope and you started to hear that music come in. Dun, 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 dun. Did we hear that, MKB? We didn't hear that, bro. We didn't hear that, man. They were saying, Devin, his power wouldn't be a problem. He just had to go in there and box. No, man. That come on. Him taking more punishment. What punishment did he take? Look, if that was the case, when Devin hit him with that left hand, man, that was the best shot he hit Ryan with. That was flush. And then, Ryan started, holding his hand, clapping his gloves together. He felt that punch. He felt that. Hey, if that's the case, that you can take more pain, hey there, MKB, you should goddamn send a care package over to Joshua so they can start injecting his chin with that Ostarine quick. Opinion on that, what's good? So if it's for losing weight, why Povetkin get popped using it? He's a heavyweight. They're also for quick recovery, faster recovery. Heavyweights, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what Povetkin is. You know what I'm saying? Povetkin got caught with something else too. But who knows? It's for, quicker recoveries, muscle mass, all that. Them heavyweights, that muscle mass and all that shit. It's fun to me. Everyone knows Wilder don't play. It's a reason he isn't an active professional boxer right now. But I digress. He would be judged again by the court system. For sure, you have every right, to have your opinion on that, NKB. You know what I'm saying? Why isn't Ryan Garcia another champion then? He's so great. He can make weight or win. Yeah, you need to ask them that. Because well as I do, MKB, I'm not rooting for no Ryan Garcia like that at all. I'm one of the only people that had him on the Duck Masters Coalition. Me. I called Ryan Lion Garcia that long time ago. I'm no way, shape, or form up here rooting for him or Devin. For real, I'm not rooting for either one of them. But I'll tell you who the professional was when it come down to the fight. Devin Haney was. He was a champion. He made weight. He went out there and did what he's supposed to do. But the way for which he lost, the results are what they are. And when you provide a visual result to human beings in the sport of boxing, they're gonna goddamn take that shit up 3 or 4 more extremes, man. They're gonna take it up 3 to 4 or 5 more extremes and say, I don't want to hear that. I've been watching boxing for 15, 20 years. You lose, you lose. Yeah, he had that, but what was he taking? Ostarine? How many more cases that we can compare outside of Badu Jack and Lucian Boutte about when it comes to Ostarine? You know what I'm saying? Is it a freaking rampant type drug? Is it different than clenbuterol? I mean, we really have to take that in consideration, man. Shout out to Haynes Legacy in the building. Salute to you, brother. May you feel blessed today. Devin fault and Ryan's fault for faking of integrity of weight class rules. I enjoyed the fight, but it didn't go the way I thought. It go in boxing is very fickle, especially with the fight that I thought the magnitude would be serious acknowledgments if it wasn't tainted. Man, he's supposed to have been the better boxer. We'll see how the court of law plays out. Real talk. I want to get to the Crawford Teofimo Lopez situation that's still out here picking up steam, so to speak. So, as you already know, that there have been individuals out here that witnessed Canelo co-sign Teofimo Lopez. So Crawford pretty much said, I'm bored, so I'm out here fucking with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And he sent this tweet out there, show me I'm a hoe. When I see you, you need some money, little bitch boy. You can't fight nobody, and you know it. Just trying to keep your name relevant. Top Rank got you where you getting effed, little bitch boy. So these two are going back and forth at it. Teofimo and Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo said, we either lace up the gloves or shut your whole ass up. And that's when Crawford responded. I mean, that's what Teo responded to Crawford. I respect all fighters, but at Teofimo Lopez only fought 3 fighters worth even talking about. And that's Lomachenko and Ortiz beat him. Taylor lost his fight before Teo and definitely should have moved up to 147, but we all know why. So why he killed, Josh Taylor to stay at that weight. Pretty much what Crawford said was correct. A lot of people thought Josh Taylor lost that fight previously. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people thought Jermaine Ortiz beat Teofimo Lopez. But at the end of the day, Teofimo responding to Crawford and talking about we either lace up the gloves or shut up. It's not that easy. You know what I'm saying? Enough talking. It's not that easy because it hadn't been enough talking yet. It hadn't been enough talking. Seriously. It said at Teofimo, if you can beat Israel Madrimov in your next fight, I'll fight you. A deal? Let's see how serious you want to fight me. And what's wrong with that? Why there aren't people getting behind this and supporting it to say, yeah, Teo, fight Madrimov. Fight a true 154-pounder in your debut since you're moving up 2 weight divisions. That's all you got to do. You know what I'm saying? You're not Mikey Garcia. You're not Mikey Garcia. You don't think that you get the easy access. Somebody told you got floor seats and it's a comp ticket that got you in the building. This is not it. I understand the trash talking. I don't care about that. I don't care about the trash talking. I'm just talking about what's inside the trash talking, though. I'm not seeing enough fillers that the Teofimo fans are going to hold him accountable for fighting somebody at 154 pounds, just like they was trying to hold Crawford accountable to fight David Benavidez, like somebody was going to fall for the okie doke twice. They convinced David to fight Demetrius Andrade and thought they was going to convince Crawford to fight Teofimo Lopez. Are you serious? Even though Teofimo has accomplished more than David Benavidez, he has. He's been on the pound for pound list at one time too. But still, that has absolutely nothing to do with him moving from 140 to 47 to 54. And he doesn't have really anything outside of beating Lomachenko. Nothing. Yeah, he want to say 2 division lineal. Respect that. It's official. But why isn't, the Teofimo fans out there demanding that he face Madrimov first? Let's see how that work out for you. Let's see Teofimo go in there and fight somebody like Madrimov. Let's see how many whiners, how many of them hound dogs started howling. If Madrimov, he go out there and face Madrimov, let's see. Oh, that's not fair. He's so small. He's so small. Why did Bud do that? Man, we got to have some ethical reasoning here in boxing. This is not right. Somebody call the chaplain. We need some prayers. We need some devotional prayer. Why would Crawford demand he face Madrimov when he struggled with Madrimov? It's not fair. Crawford should Teo should just get a shot at Crawford. Why? Just because I really don't know why, but it's good for conversation. Now, shut the fuck up, man. Crawford say, if you ever thought Teo had a better resume than him, your mama eats dogs and you need to stay far away from boxing because you don't know shit about boxing. Hey, one thing about Bud, he be going straight for your mama. God dang. Hey, Teo's mama was nice to me. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie, Crawford. Teo mama was nice to me. I can't put Teo. I can't put his mama into the deal because that lady didn't know me from anybody else, and she was nice as she could be, man. Real talk. Good people. But I understand where you coming from with it, Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I understand it's just, you talking and people out here saying that Teo had a better resume. I mean, all that bullshit under the influence of some good shit. We don't know what type of a Martian strand that is, but they smoking that goddamn moon dust. You know what I'm saying? They smoking that moon dust. Just going off the accolades has already been posted previously. We don't need to repost it. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to repost it, but we will. We will. We've seen it before. Crawford said, I respect all fighters, but that Teofimo Lopez only fought 3 fighters worth even talking about. Now, the reason why I came back to this is Lomachenko fought Teofimo Lopez, and he had already had a loss from Orlando Salido anyway. But he was on the pound-for-pound list, and he was the golden child. Absolutely. He was the golden child. So Lomachenko had high praise. And Teofimo coming off of Masayoshi Nakatani and Richard Comey. Hey, man, shout out to Richard Comey. But he wasn't undefeated either. But he was a champion. And they fought for the IBF. Teo picked it up. And, he went on to just basically descend from there. He had an all-time high. And all of a sudden, the engine went out. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Do you copy? Mayday, mayday, mayday. I mean, that plane started to go down quick. Because in order for him to defend those titles, man, people start showing Teo he wasn't who he thought he was. Floyd came down to fight Logan Paul, man. When you're talking about a legitimate unification bout with Teofimo and George Kambosos, and Floyd Mayweather comes to Florida and just made Triller uproot and leave, cancel the fight because people was coming down there supposedly to see Floyd. I was like, God, that was the first telltale sign that they were showing him, man. I don't know who you think you are, but we about to show you. And they had to cancel the fight card. Who does that for unification? You know what I'm saying? Was the fact that he was facing Kambosos? If he would have faced Devin Haney, could that fight have happened still with Floyd coming down there to fight Logan Paul? Could it? I don't know, man. I don't know, y'all. I don't know if it still could have happened yet. I don't know if Floyd still would have came down there, and if Teofimo was fighting Devin Haney for all the marbles, would he have came down there to fight Logan Paul on that fight week? We'll never know. But the fact that he was fighting Camboso, it was like no fight. It was no freaking security parameters set, yo. They forced them to pick up and leave. And then the next date fell out. And then the next date fell out until the point that Eddie Hearns picked it up. And they picked it up, and Camboso ended up getting the victory. Then he had to move up to 140. But I like how people continue to compare resumes, because they had the same freaking music out when he was facing Errol Spence. I love it. Talk about the resume and continue to discard the fighter. Go ahead, talk about the paperwork, but at the end of the day, the fighter is the one that's going to be inside those ropes. So you can talk all you want. Oh man, this resume better. How many people believes that Teo is on the same level as Crawford? You have to ask those people, not the people who have impaired vision, who haven't seen a fight in their life. We're not talking about them. We're not talking about the ones with goddamn Ray Charles shades on. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the fans who have been a part of boxing, stayed close to it. Ask them, do they consider Teo to be a 50-50 fight when it comes to Crawford? They're going to tell you straight up, no. Then you turn around and say, respectfully, okay, what percentage would you give Teo of beating Crawford? That's when they may walk away from you. You know what I'm saying? That's when they may walk away from you, respectfully, after slapping the shit out you. I said, how dare you disrespect me like this? You asking me what percentage I give Teo to beat Crawford? I mean, they're going to say, well, I have to put a minus in front of the number. I say minus 50%. No, that's not fair. I'm within the range of 0 to 100, the scale. That's all we're working with. No, I can't do that. That's unfair. That's unfair, period. That's unfair. Now, I was thinking to myself, why would there be individuals out here thinking that this is a fight we need to see? Like, I would say this. I would more so like to see this fight once Bud pick up his 3-division undisputed. After he fight the primary role players, the champions itself for the 154. I would definitely like to see him have just like a what kind of fight would I call this? A carnival fight, a just a play fight. This is not even considered a stay busy fight. This is just like a give back to the community fight. You know what I'm saying? Sideshow fight, a donation fight. This is what I'll see that if Crawford fighting Teo. That's all. That's all. Maybe he needs some more help to get him this fight. He need more than a couple of YTC voices on here trying to convince people that Crawford is scared of Teo. You got to keep the same energy, yo. For somebody who's calling out Canelo, why would he be scared of a Teo? I think y'all getting the O's confused. If you what I mean. You're getting the O confused, because the only fighter out of those 3 names, Teo and Canelo, that has an O is Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He the one has the O, not Canelo and not Teo, but Cinco de Crawford. That's who has the O on his record. So stop all the hating. You know what I'm saying? Put the fork down from eating them goddamn coconut salads. Okay, leave the coconut salads alone, if you know what I mean. And stop acting like this is an equal fight. This is nowhere close to being an equal fight, y'all. This is nowhere close. This is nowhere close, man. If I was to ask anybody that's a non-boxing fan to just know just a glimpse, just a little bit, and ask them, would you give any credit to Bud for fighting Teo? Well, I'll have to put some on the back end of that. I'll say, well, let's just say if his last fight of his career, because we know Mayweather, he fought Conor McGregor. And that was the last fight that he had that was sanctioned on his record. And Conor McGregor had 2 coconuts. You know what I'm saying? He had one that he used to have in UFC. And then he had one coming over here to boxing. He had 2 coconuts, y'all, when he entered the boxing. 0 wins, opposite of 0 defeats. He had 2 coconuts, y'all. 0 wins, opposite of 0 defeats. And like I said, the only fighter in between this trio of names that has an O on his record is Cinco de Crawford. So don't continue to talk about somebody's scared, or he's putting race into it, or he's being a baby, he's a bitch, he's a put. Say all you want to say, call him every name you want to call him, but those same individuals will have the same fate of those who underestimated or biasly ignored July 29, 2023. That's all I'm saying. Speak as you may. Get in the mirror and practice your dramatic freaking outbursts of emotions before you go on your live streams. Do what you want to do. You can say whatever you want about Teofimo Lopez. You know goddamn well he don't have a 0% chance. That's too close to a 1%. He has -100% chance of defeating Crawford. Now they're going to turn around and think that Crawford owes Teo something and he should fight him at 147. He should fight Teo at 147. Why? Well, he weight drained. Man, shut the fuck up, man. Nobody's even talking about that fight except me. I'm just saying, Teo shouldn't even be in a conversation with Spence either. Because I could have sworn one point in time he called out Spence, didn't he? Or they were supposed to be good friends or something. No. I dialed it in. They was going for Spence. Yeah, they was going for Spence. All the New York City was going for freaking Spence. Everybody that was over there. I mean, they was going for the hometown guy. Teo was one of them. He was going for Spence. He was had all these damn lines of criticism for Crawford. But at the end of the day, we all know what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want to say, right? You can act how you want to act. But when it comes to splitting the ropes and going in there and proving to the people that you are worthy of being in the square with Crawford, you have to do enough so you don't have this, I need a baby bottle. Give me some fresh Enfamil. You know what I'm saying? And put a little Cavassier in there. Put some tequila in that and shake it up real good. I need something to help me sleep. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. Not only would Teofimo be crying after the end of Crawford's fight, when he be asking the people, hey, do you think I still got it? Hey, bro, after this Crawford ass whooping, do you think I still got it? I mean, come on, bro. Come on, man. Man, you're better off, calling Diddy for help. Somebody tell Teo to call Diddy for help since he's throwing up all those freaking signs. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Aren't you over there in NYC? Let's see if he on one of them tapes. Why he mad? Why he going at the brothers? Are you on one of those tapes? Oh, speaking of, you better, dang, you better goddamn hit that dude up. You better hit him up. Don't keep him waiting. I hope to God you ain't on one of those tapes there, T.O. You better, hey, you better not have no goddamn little secrets coming. You better answer that phone call, T.O. You better answer that man's phone call next time he call you. For real. Because just maybe that's what the tears are for. Seriously. It's a lot of people that may be on them tapes that's getting emotional. We don't understand why they was getting emotional over there. Because I heard he threw some crazy parties over there in NYC. Some crazy parties. I just don't understand why some of these people, these fighters, they shedding tears and crying like that. Seriously, I'm just being honest, man. I'm just being honest, man. I'm serious, for real. I'm just being honest, man. Why is T.O. so butthurt? You saying Crawford soon? Isn't this T.O.? T.O. put that shit out there, right? T.O. said it was going to be Crawford soon, right? But then the real reason why he's pursuing clout is because he ain't made $1 million in any fight yet. So he need Crawford for clout. Unbelievable. You better answer Diddy's phone call. When he call, you better stop fucking playing. When Diddy hit you up on the line there, T.O., that might be the only person that can get you to fight. So you better go over there with that goddamn new fresh bottle. You know what I'm talking about. He want that Honduran flavor, baby oil. Boy, you better get to the store right now and get that Honduran special. He want that Honduran baby oil, y'all. You better go over there and goddamn get the stepping real quick there, T.O., so he can get you this fight. Shout out to the boxing queen Jessica in the building. People really saying Bud is scared of T.O. How you scared of someone you pulled up on? For real, right? Now look, he really pulled up on both of them, and he checked his dad. How can two people get checked at the same time? It's in the same family with the same last name. How? Both of y'all trying to get a Crawford fight. Your pops fuck around and touch Crawford, and Crawford was seething. The motherfucking eyes was red. The white of his eyes was red. Look, hunting them motherfuckers down. And finally found him. He said, man, hey, bro, if you ever touch me again, I'll beat your mother effing ass. He told him. And he was pointing freaking Senior's face. And then he said, T.O. didn't do shit. He said, man, if that would have been my dad, I would have got down in your eye, would have been goddamn turned all the way up. It would have been on, period. But you know how it is, bro. You know how it is, y'all. Donating a little bit of School of Hard Knocks from Crawford. T.O. blamed Eddie Hearns for losing to Kambosos. Although Kambosos was a labella fighter. Eddie and Lou don't get along. Yeah, facts. That Toby. Facts. They didn't get along. That's facts. Because we all know the story behind Lou DeBella and why he needed a promotion and why, Top Rank promoted that fight because he had a network. And we know that. We know that, Shouty, for real. For real. You know what I'm saying? We know that whole situation. You know what I'm saying? We got a diddler. Hey, we got a diddler. Y'all better get T.O. that freaking that Honduran spice baby oil. Kelly, if you if I just admitted, bro, goddamn, we was just talking boxing. Oh, why you hating? Why you hate? Why your bitch ass come on here and hate, man? I mean, like, look, here we go. We have people on ghost accounts, right? That'll sit up here and be mad that a man have no shirt on. Like I supposed to explain to you as if it's something that's eccentric for a man that take care of himself to have no shirt on. Yeah, I get it. That's what you want, the message that you pass. You know what I'm saying? But hey, work on that yourself, man. Being able to feel good about yourself. But anyway, shout out to everyone else that's here. We're gonna keep our eyes and ears open to this debacle that's playing out, you know, with Tio. What do you all want to happen with Tio? What do y'all want to happen at the end of the day? Do y'all want to see him fight Terrence Crawford? You know, do you think he has what it takes to go in there and fight Madrimov? Huh? Do y'all think? You know what I'm saying? I put the link in there if you want to explain yourself. I mean, you don't have to do a lot of talking on this Sunday, unless you're on the. I mean, you don't have to do a lot of typing. You can do a lot of talking on the panel. I dropped the link for you if it's weird to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you eating a bag of Skittles right now or not. Well, it ain't weird to anybody who take care of themselves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to really start talking about the women because that might offend you too, being that you might not like that gender. You might not be into the female gender. I get it. Because any real man wouldn't be talking about another man's freaking with his shirt off. You know what I'm saying? But I think you got offended because you wanted this phone call right here. See, he wants that phone call to be about him. He jealous. What's going on, Sir Senior? How you feeling, bro?
What's up, bro?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
Yeah,
Good?
man. I just wanted to tap in real quick. Pause since we talking about the diddler.
What about the diddler, man?
Man, you know, T.O. he got a crush on Bud, man. You could tell it. He got a crush on Bud. That's all it is. He want to be Bud so bad it's coming out of his eyes.
I don't know, man. I think he want to be Ryan Garcia, but he don't want to go to war with Ryan Garcia because his fan base. Because Ryan Garcia's fan base light T.O. up. So he's trying to emulate, in my opinion, I'm just saying my opinion, I think he's trying to emulate Ryan Garcia with the racist comment shit. And also, he's really mad and angry that Ryan's getting all this airplay and he's accomplished more in his boxing career. T.O. has.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But
You know,
for that same reason, that's why I say I don't want him to be able to fight Bud off of, you know, just the principle that says, okay, this is the new blueprint is to, hey, let's be racist and we can get the fights that we don't deserve.
What fight we getting that we don't deserve?
If he gets a fight with Bud, he's jumping in front of.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, he jumped in front of EJ with the rematch. He's jumping in front of Tim Tszyu. He's jumping in front of Madrimov won his rematch.
Yeah.
You're looking at Fandora, everybody on 154 won a rematch. David Benavidez.
So saying, how would you prioritize the top three of the fighters that you just named for Bud, for him to fight in that order, top three?
Well, I would definitely say the Fandora and then Tim Tszyu, then either EJ or Madrimov.
I like the third one out the door. The reason why I like it because the fans are still a bit anxious to see Crawford Spence. So yeah. The first two, number 1 and 2, yeah, 3-time undisputed. But the third one I like other than T.O. because a lot of fans want to see at 154, can Spence come in there and have a different type of performance than he did last year?
Yeah, but EJ got to get a win though.
I mean, look. If you think I'm gonna send a search team out there, they came back with no intel yet. I put the picture up there. They took a picture of him sitting up under a goddamn cherry tree. Shit. He wasn't saying nothing. He was just sitting there.
Salute.
Tough Love Boxing in the building. Salute to you, brother.
What's going on? What's good cooking with sir? Salute to everybody in the chat. The hottest chat in the game. I had to come and touch this conversation because you already know anything that T.O. do, I'm about to cook him. Right? So you already know there's a live coming about to cook T.O. But listen, this is the thing I want to touch about with Bud. And I don't know if anybody else has noticed it. Now that it's everybody's starting to accept the fact that it may be a while before they get to the Boots fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the Spence fans jumped on the Boots bandwagon. We already know they've already jumped off of that bandwagon and onto the Teofimo Lopez bandwagon. Let me explain. So I was looking at a channel earlier. I came across it, right? Errol Spence channel, Pro Errol Spence channel, right? Was just recently talking about Boots. Now they're talking about Terrence Buck Crawford as being a hypocrite for what he's asking Teofimo to do, but he won't jump up to fight David Benavidez. So I just say that to say that, listen, the man is so bad that they don't even want him to fight in 168 no more. They want him to jump up to light heavy. That's how bad this dude is. They were saying he was too small for Canelo, but they want him to jump up and fight David Benavidez, who's a 175-pounder now, to prove that he should fight Canelo, as opposed to Teofimo Lopez fighting Madrimov. I think Teofimo Lopez fighting Madrimov makes perfect sense. Didn't he say Madrimov is a man with only 10 fights nobody should be losing to or getting hit as much by? He said that.
Yeah.
Right. So if you feel that way and you really want this Bud Crawford fight, the fight that you've been begging and pleading for the past few years, and he says, I'm going to give it to you. He didn't do like Canelo did and say, if you fight T.O., Bud, I'll consider. No, that's not Bud. And use the word consider. Right. He's very deliberate when he talks. He said, if you get past Madrimov, I'll give you the fight. At that point, if Teofimo Lopez doesn't take that challenge, everything that he's been saying about wanting the Bud Crawford fight is bullshit. That's my opinion, guys.
I mean, that's a solid point, man. I think it's bullshit to how he is getting this free airplay, and he doesn't give me that type of energy. I was a Teofimo supporter for real until he just started really believing that whenever he wants to get out of something, he can talk about Rosa Parks or any type of Black history, but yet you really feel some type of way about Black people for whatever reason. I hear the rumors that's going around or whatever, but I'm not getting into that. But I just know back when I knew him and I was covering, he was good people. But now, to caveat off what you said, very solid point. Will he face somebody who's 10-1? You would think he would, because look what happened to him when he had only 14 fights heading into his 15th fight. You know what I'm saying? He beat freaking Nakatani and went up there and defeated Richard Coleman in his 15th professional fight to become champion. So why wouldn't you give Madrimov the same thing? And he was a prior champion, like yourself. He was a former champion. It's legit. It's legit. That's a good point.
None of them boys want that Madrimov smoke. None of them at 154 want it after the performance he did with Terrence Crawford. Not that he beat Terrence Crawford, but they know that style is hard to deal with. And I'm sorry, my bad.
Go ahead. Yeah.
And Teofimo Lopez, right? He's not even willing to fight anybody in his own division or 147. So, I mean, I don't know what he wants. And I'm going to be honest with you, and I need your opinion on this. Do you think that Teofimo Lopez Sr. is using his son? And the reason why I ask that is because every time I see them in a group setting, there's nobody Teofimo Lopez's age hardly there. There's always like people his father's age. And I'm like, yo, is this you know how people be leeching on you? If your son is successful, they try to get close to the family and stay around you. And can I borrow this? Can I borrow? And his father's drinking all of the time, wilding out. I'm like, listen, they got a lot of people that don't give a shit about Teofimo Lopez. They just there for what they can get.
You want to caveat that, Sir Senior, off what Tough Glove just said?
Yeah, I'll definitely concur with that. That it's more of a, you got a lot of kick it type thing, and they just want to, go for the ride. MC Hammer type. We just want to, while you dancing and singing, we just want to get as much as we can. We don't care what you say or what you do, because as soon as you fall off, we leaving you.
It's crazy.
TGB, I'm gonna say this. I've been around his team. He got some of the same team members that he had back in the day. One of them is not there anymore. But I think with Lopez, they didn't look out, for the forecast. They had a absolute high. They was able to accomplish an elevation like most fighters don't get the opportunity to. They not only accomplished the championship in that many fights, but they was able to fight a pound for pound best fighter in Lomachenko early. And you know how they got that fight? His dad back in the day kept on saying that Lomachenko was scared. So they finally got the Lomachenko fight because people picked up on it. People was talking about Teo, Lomachenko, Teo, and they made the fight happen. So they think they can use the old type mentality to get Lomachenko, that is going to work in today's time with freaking Bud, and it's not. Because Bud ain't Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? He was never the golden child. So Bud pretty much earned his shit the hard way. And he ain't trying to sit up here and say, well, I want to fight Teo just because you have a couple of content creators that's talking shit about it. I mean, what does Bud have to get from this? Just like they say, what does Canelo has to get from Crawford? Well, Crawford's still undefeated, and he has a buttload of freaking accolades and achievements and his legacy and everything else, and been on the pound for pound list longer than anybody that's on there right now. Go ahead, TGB.
Yeah, all facts, and I'll be honest with you, this man, he completely he completely ruined his career, and I don't even know if it's recoverable at this point. But what I will tell you is this: unfortunately, I think that this fight may actually materialize before Bud is over. And I don't mean to say unfortunately, because the truth be told, I wouldn't mind seeing a fight, right? Like Teofimo Lopez is a fighter, right? We was co-signing. I didn't mind when Josh Taylor was trying to fight Crawford coming up, so I'm not going to act like, Teofimo Lopez shouldn't fight. I think Crawford would demolish him. Right. But as far as the actual fight happening, with all of the buzz that's being generated around it, and now with Bud actually giving it validation by getting frustrated behind a lot of the comments that Teo is making, the public, the people are going to start to be, curious. You got half of the people that want to see Teo get his face knocked in. You got his delusional fans who think he actually stand a chance. And then you got Bud that's slapping his father, already frustrated with him. And, why not make a great big pile of money beating the shit out of Teofimo Lopez? And it's not like Teofimo Lopez can outprice himself. But my thing is,
true.
Right quick, how can he say he'll fight Bud for free and go on a podcast, right, and say that he's always fights for less money, but it costs him, he's asking 10 million, 20 million to fight Devin Haney?
Man, you cooking hot grease, man, for real. Hey, solid point. How can you go up there and say you'll fight for free? You make yourself sound stupid.
Yeah,
you're sounding stupid now. You either want the paycheck or you don't want the paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're saying, he also said this, TGB, he said, he got people out here talking about his resume is better than Bud's. So you want to fight for free, your resume is better, so you want to just fight for bragging rights right now. That doesn't make any sense.
People who say that, they they just don't like Bud. To be honest with you, if you break down the resumes, it's not even close. It's not even close, right? And
you wouldn't want to see him fight somebody at 147. Dude, look, I heard what Sir Senior said, and some other people. Would you like this? I mean, why does he get the pass to skip up to 154 when you want to see him fight at least somebody? You know what I'm saying, at 147.
For who? Teofimo Lopez?
Yeah,
I want Teofimo Lopez to stop fucking around and clean up the 140-pound division and then move up like he was supposed to do. Teofimo Lopez would have been on the top list. Like you said, everybody rocked with him in the beginning. He did have that it factor, but the problem is he wasn't the golden child over there, and he threw a monkey wrench in their program. But that didn't matter because we, the people, supported him until he started doing the bullshit. Now, the business move that he made wasn't, I can't see him making it on his own. He was pushed into that Triller situation because, like he said, he got ripped off in the Lomo negotiations, and that bitterness, you know what I'm saying, made him not give Loma the rematch, not give George Kambosos another fight. You know, he destroyed his own career. He could have gave Loma a rematch, beat him twice, which I think he would have did. He could have rematched George Kambosos if that wasn't the case, at least got his belts back before moving up. But he didn't do any of that. He fought Josh Taylor too late, in my opinion. Jack Catterall already beat the man, you know, and got robbed. But his whole thing about being the king right now is based on the Josh Taylor fight. I think
king
that
of what? Two lineal?
Yeah. Or I don't know. You know, the king of the noses. My nose is big and his shit bigger than mine. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, you know, Teofimo Lopez, he can still, you know, if he just clean up the 140, I don't think there's anybody at 140 except for Devin Haney who he got to worry about. You know, but even his own
Devin Haney is not at 140 no more. Then he
moved up.
No, he vacated his title. Isn't Alberto Puello the WBC champion then?
Yeah. But Devin is the champ in recess.
Oh, he's in recess. So
yeah, he's the WBC champ in recess. But even that's the case, he could clean up the other belts, and in the process, you know, it's just crazy. I don't get it. You know, I don't get this new generation of fighters like Teofimo Lopez. So I can only assume it's bad management, and I think that maybe they know Teofimo Lopez is maybe past his best. And they're trying to like maneuver his career so he don't get too hurt, but they can still make a living because he can't really do anything else but fight.
Yeah, he has taken some damage. I ain't gonna lie, but you know, he's a youngin, and I say, well, he can't be having early stages of pugilistica. You know, he still sounds pretty competent when he's in front of the mic, because I used to.
No, he don't.
I used to look. I used to it's different times when he's in front of the mic. It's different times.
Yeah, you're right.
Like you know, he sounds competent when he's sitting up there with other fighters and he's calm and relaxed and talk about his opponent or something. But when he's out here talking on it is what it is, and you know, when he gets in front of the, you know, the fight hypes or the fight hubs, nothing on them. But he starts to just talk out his head and say shit that's stupid. He gets that from his pop. His pops does the same thing. You know, his pops went viral. I don't know if he was on YouTube at that time. You might have. I'm not sure. Were you on YouTube back then when he was in Texas and he went viral for saying that his son was gonna, you know, become champion in 15 fights and he was gonna beat Lomachenko, but Lomachenko's scared of him?
No, I didn't see that, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he went viral from that, and people was like calling his dad like, you know, saying you're delusional, bro. It ain't no way that's gonna happen. And sure enough, he went up there and won the title eliminator, beat Richard Comey, and then beat Lomachenko. And that's the highest point he was on.
Yeah, he's still living it.
Yeah, he's still trying to live it, you know. But like you said before, he fought Josh Taylor too late, who had already been beat by Catterall, but Catterall didn't get the nod. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I would like to see him fight 147 first. Myself.
Right, especially right now, and it's right for the pickings. Like everybody at 147, with the exception of Boots, but fight him last if that's how you feel. But Teo, I don't think this. I think that he feels like his greatness is already there because he keeps talking about what he's already done instead of what's left for him to do.
Correct.
And the only thing he wants to do is fight Crawford. But and we can, and I'm not mad if he wants to do it for the money. But my thing is work your way up to it. In the meantime, you got people all around you that you can get credit for, but you're gonna turn down that smoke and then bring up Claggett.
Yeah, and then have a tough go. Tough go with that cat, man. He beat him up a little bit.
You saw Teofimo Lopez's face after that fight. Yeah. So if you think pillow fisted Claggett, right? And I like Claggett. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a dog. You know what I'm saying? I think that a lot of people don't really look good against Claggett, to be honest with you, because the man's conditioning is elite. It is what it is. But the fact is, you know, nobody is going to want to see his next fight not be nobody. Like, he can't get away with that again.
Correct.
You know, and then you got Punch Drunk Boxing. Salute to him and his channel, but I don't understand like what's so hard of keeping it real. Like, if you fuck with Teo that much, let him know. Yo, what are you doing?
Oh, he knows. I mean, I'm not gonna go in on Punch. You know, just like any channel, the same as much as I talk about Wilder and freaking, but I know his angle. I know.
Yeah, they're friends though. They're friends.
I know about this before you even got on YouTube. How this all shit transpired. Yeah, how everything transpired between him and the Lopez's. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Okay.
Believe me, we'll talk about that another day. It's way deeper than you know. All the damn debates and the wars, the damn YTC wars that was going on back then. It was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
But let me ask you something. I wanted to ask you about. Did you hear the earlier audio of Rick Glaser and what he said about Devin Haney? He believed he's kind of soft and being a pussy about this lawsuit. What's your take on it?
You talking about earlier today when he was talking?
I played the audio of True Media. Today
so this is the thing. Yeah. I don't know. Now this is the thing. I can understand if people don't like Bill Haney, right? And this is just my personal opinion. I fuck with Devin Haney, and I have for a long time. Now I don't spare him because I'm an unbiased fight fan, so I give him that smoke when he needs it. But I fuck with Devin Haney, and I don't like. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't like how they doing him right now. Yeah, I don't think it looks super macho with him selling, but like the video I just did, I don't think it's just the ass whipping that they suing for. They got fucked over in negotiations.
Okay, I like that you brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
So who's liable for the language that is in negotiations if it was supposed to say gross and not net? Do you have any firm evidence that the reason why they got fucked over in negotiations was because of Golden Boy or whatever, because it said net and not gross? Is that what you're talking about?
Here's the thing. It said net profit because that's what it actually said. It said that they negotiated for 47% of the net profit as opposed to gross revenue. Mm-hmm. And I already explained the differences in that. But as far as whose fault is it, there is the fault. There's nobody to blame. Let me tell you something. When you're dealing with contracts, anybody who's dealing with contracts, right? Yeah, it's a shiesty business. It's a dirty game. And it's all about getting the advantage. So if somebody suspects that you're ignorant about something, which I think that they did about the Devin Haney language, not knowing, understanding the language and not letting Eddie Hearn in on the negotiations or anything like that, I think that Oscar De La Hoya knew exactly what he was doing. I think that's why he was like, this fight is going to happen no matter what. But he didn't do anything wrong.
Wow. Just
like Crawford didn't do anything wrong with the Spence negotiations. He beat Spence in that particular situation in negotiations, but there's no, it would just happen. It's business.
How can you be this far along in the sport, having became undisputed, legit, official, certified, and WBC champion at 140, and have an oversight in negotiations, something as important as money?
Sure. Because you trust other people to do that. Like, I'll give you an example. Spence. When Bud caught Spence, right, he was dealing with Al Heyman first. Bud caught Spence personally because Al Heyman wasn't budging. But how he got Spence, right? Because Spence wasn't trying to turn on Al. But what made Spence turn, in my opinion, is the fact that Bud started telling him, oh, well, listen, I sat at the table. And at that table, they had, prime steak. Right, they had thick center cut pork chops and a roasted pig. They had all of the most tasty fruit. So why are you accepting fast food? So now Spence goes back and he's looking like, wait a minute, let me really look at what's going on. I'm supposed to get popcorn money? Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me, if they sell an extra cup, I'm supposed to get part of that? So I feel like a lot of times the promoters, they don't, even Eddie Hearn, and as long as Devin Haney and them has been in the business people don't really expose everything. When you're teaching your little brother how to fight, you're going to teach him how to fight to hold himself down and do damage, but you ain't never going to teach him how to beat you.
Facts, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it was one of those type of situations, and I also think that, first of all, Ryan Garcia was the biggest bag. That was the lotto payday, right? According to Devin Haney and Bill Haney, that was the lotto bag. And so in order to cut Eddie Hearn out of that portion of it, right, they just said, listen, we'll pay you distribution to fight on the platform. And then they thinking 47%, we're about to get paid. Because they thinking there, and Eddie Hearn said, he came out and said, I kept telling them, you're not going to make that amount. And they was going against Eddie Hearn saying, yes, we are. But as you can see, with the disloyalty, they were supposed to let Eddie Hearn work with them through the Ryan Garcia fight. So yeah, Eddie Hearn gonna make a couple million. He invested and lost millions in you when you was coming up in your career. So you're going to take the belt from one of his fighters, and on your biggest fight and most profitable fight, you're going to cut Eddie Hearn out, but then yet expect him to then pick up a purse bid for Sandor Martin. expect him to back you the same way he was backing you before when he let you go to Top Rank to do your thing, and you come back and you cut him out the biggest deal of your career. I felt
I hear you.
greed,
Solid points.
I feel like greed might have played a part. And now, was Bill Haney and Devin Haney wrong? I feel like this. It's a business, and if they felt that they was getting the best of the business, then so be it. Like Eddie Hearn didn't make a big deal. He like, all right, give me my $300K and do what you do. But now you can't come back and talk about, yo, you ain't my friend and all of this shit. Like, nah, it was Nino Brown. It was all business, never personal before. So now you're talking about friendships. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's the real reason why they kind of suing, because that's the only really real way to legally get some of that money back.
Man, that's a solid point you made, man. We should have had this topic on Spaces, man. I'm gonna let you know, man. I'm gonna try to set some up on Spaces about this conversation. I'm gonna start doing a lot more Spaces on X and have these conversations. And you're more than welcome to, to be a co-host on there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you ever been on Spaces yet, have you? It's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? It's just a place on X where you can create, place where, people can just join in, and you have control over, muting everybody, at one time, but it just gives the opportunity for the host, co-host, to select people to discuss the conversation and all that. It's really cool. That's where I'll be a lot of times when I'm not on YouTube. I'll be on Spaces, talking about different topics. And I like how you stay engaged and so forth on the topic. And it's good to be non-biased, but I think a lot of these cats are intoxicated off their biased cocktails. So like what you said about Haney, it's some people that's been covering boxing for a long time. So they're going to look at it from the grimy perspective. They say, okay, all you have to do is get back in there and beat him a second time. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be good money behind a Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia rematch. Good money.
Absolute fact.
Who is he going to make that money with? What's another name he's going to make that money with right now?
Now, I'm going to say something, and I want to get your opinion on it now, right? Because I truly believe this. As fucked up as shit was, as much as I almost hate to, and I hear people say it too, like for him to get an opportunity, right? After all of the racist shit he said and everything like that. But I also, on the same spectrum, feel like, okay, so we're going to stop him from making money, but then we got to stop our money too. You hold the man down, you got to stay down with him. I think that despite the lawsuit, whatever, if Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney was to come back for a rematch, that fight would be bigger than Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, the first one. I think that if they was to fight at a catch weight that nobody got to worry about making 140 and they both going to come in healthy and even, and people going to want to prove that this wasn't a fluke, that Devin Haney just can't beat Ryan Garcia, I think they'll pull that money out their pocket.
Okay, that's a solid point. Who you mean they'll pull the money out? Who?
I think a lot of Ryan Garcia fans, will pull money out there. A lot of boxing fans that's just curious to see is Devin Haney gonna really fight the same way, or is he gonna revert back to what he should have did the first time? Like, I think that under fair conditions, that fight would sell.
What would you say selling point would be? What price tag?
You think
APV
pay-per-view? Yeah. I mean, man, I think they could do about a good 5, bro. 5, 6.
Damn.
On a rematch. Yeah, I think so. And let me tell you,
and with Ryan Garcia, Ryan Garcia, even Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying, with the controversy that and that he went through, in that first fight, I think they'll be more relative. They'll be more committed to support Devin more than they did the first fight in this, because he did what he was supposed to as a champion.
Right.
He didn't pop positive and he made weight.
I agree. And I think that if Turki Al-Sheikh gets behind this fight, which he's willing to do, right? He is willing to work with Ryan Garcia despite the shit that he says. But I think that Olympic style testing will be in play, because he ain't gonna let you, Turki ain't gonna let you go on his event, look, with no doping and none of that. He gonna make sure everything is in play. You understand? And that's probably why we'll never see Tank on one of his events, Because somebody, I saw a video earlier I want to touch on. Somebody said Tank has never done, he's not listed on BoxRec has ever done VADA testing, ever. But
Damn,
anyway, that's
what?
neither here nor there. Yeah, I didn't even notice that until somebody brought it up today. But so what I'm saying is Turkey Al-Sheikh is going to make sure Ryan Garcia is clean. And I think that a clean Ryan Garcia and going up against Devin Haney, right? If Devin Haney don't have to drain his herb, they're going to fight at 140, let him fight at 140. But if it's got to be at 143, then let it be at 143. That means Devin Haney gonna come in healthy too. Ryan Garcia is more even. Then we'll see what's up. And if Devin Haney going in and get his ass knocked out again, we pretty much know that's almost unrecoverable.
I disagree with the 140 because don't we want a healthy fight?
Yeah, that's why I say I'd rather see the
many
catch weight.
fights. Yeah, it needs a catch weight or it needs to be a 147. I mean, both of these fighters. I'm just saying because these are big fighters, right? And clearly,
147 is good.
And clearly, the reason why Ryan Garcia is on the slab right now is because supposedly he took some supplements to make him lose weight, to help him lose weight. So how is he gonna freaking get down to 140 again? Given he does have ample time, but is he going to be healthy? And Devin, he's a big boy too for 140.
Yeah, he is.
They in their late 20s right now, right? Like 27, something like that. So 140, shit.
You might be right about 147 actually does sound like the ideal weight for that rematch. Now that I think about it, you know what I mean? I feel like that's the best weight, both of them are coming healthy. And yeah, like if Ryan can't get it right this time, he need to get up out the sport. But I don't really like Ryan Garcia, right? But as far as just keeping it boxing, yeah, that fight, you're right. I think that fight would do good numbers.
Yeah, I believe it'll do good numbers, being that we really don't have a huge amount of fights on the docket, to look forward to. We got Sebastian, we got Beterbiev, but as far as big name fights that's in the future, we have the rematch with the heavyweight undisputed. But as far as the lighter divisions, we're waiting for the 147 to cut the lights back on. Norman, he was injured, he's out of November fight. We got Ennis and Karen, but no one is looking forward to see that. Ennis saying that the reason why he looked so bad against Karen because he was going in there for the knockout the first time. So he's going in there saying, I'm gonna have fun this time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then Barrios is fighting what's his name coming up?
So you don't think
go ahead.
Oh yeah. You don't think that I would say the bantamweight, the junior featherweight, and featherweight division is rocking right now. Like the featherweight, they got Nick Ball, Rafael Espinoza, you know what I mean? And he has a rematch coming up against Robsy Canseco, which I can't wait to see. Ray Vargas, Angela Leo.
Yeah.
You go down.
Shout out to them. They had some very entertaining fights. You know what I'm saying? Especially when he went in there with Stephen Fulton and all that. Oshaki Foster and Hobson Conceição. Yeah. I definitely want to see that.
I want to see Oshaki Foster, Lamont Roach. I've been waiting for that. And one more thing. What do you think about, and then I'm gonna get out of here because I got to roll, OG, but check it out. What do you think about the rumor that I read an article in Boxing Scene, and I also wrote an article too, right? Dealing with it. They have Junto Nakatani gonna fight Inoue brother next year, right? And then he's gonna move up if he wins and fight Inoue in Japan. This should finna be the biggest fight in Japan.
Hey man, I love Japanese fights. Being I was over there several years.
Hell yes.
I would definitely like to attend the fight over there in Japan. I mean, I bet it's gonna be super lit. Yeah, man, that's gonna be OTC right there. Real talk.
Listen, them Japanese fighters, bro. Them motherfuckers been fighting. They could fight, and they've been fighting good for a long time. They don't really get the shine they should, but they definitely some of the best fighters at the lower divisions for sure.
For sure.
But anyway, family. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I say I like the Jess Band Rodriguez, who's now moving up the bantamweight or whatever and stuff like that. Yeah, for real. But we'll chop it up again, bro. For sure. Thanks for having me on. Hey, appreciate you pulling
everybody
up
in the chat. All right.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Shout out to Tough Glove Boxing in the building. You know what I'm saying? Pulling up, chopping it up for a little bit. Shout out to the OG Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz and more. Salute to you. I'll see you on deck. Hey, we should do this again, y'all. I'm already at 2 hours. Quick. Hey, man, your life go by quick on this YTC, especially when you goddamn drop the link, boy. But we should talk again, y'all, on this boxing talk. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. Until next time, peace.